What's up, guys? This is Coach Grant with First Down Training, and today we're going to be breaking down how underclassmen can start on varsity. Let's get started. Now, before we get into this video, fellas, if you would like to get faster, check out that very first link in the description below where you can get access to daily on-field and gym speed and agility workouts. We also will give you access to 75 plus speed and agility drills with the exact sets and reps to do, and we break down each specific drill into a category so all the information is organized and easy for you to retain and follow. So if you guys would like to improve your speed, decrease your 40 time, again, check out that very first link in the description below. Let's get back to this video. All right, guys, so now when we're talking about starting on varsity, there's one thing that you have to consistently do, and that is show up. Now, I'm not just talking about showing up to practice. I don't mean show up by like, oh, give your best effort every single day. I mean, you literally have to show your face at every single team event to get the respect of the coaching staff and to get the respect of your fellow players, especially if you're an underclassman, right? So if there's a team event that is like optional, but honestly, like that should be mandatory to you guys. You need to show up to every single event and consistently show your face so the coaches know that you're bought into the team, so your teammates respect you, you build that camaraderie, and they could actually trust you as an underclassman with a starting role on the team. A lot of times underclassmen, you know, like they're almost separate from the team, especially if you're like a freshman or a sophomore who's on varsity, who has an opportunity to start on varsity. Those guys have been playing together for 2-3 years. They're a tight-knit group, so you have to be able to build that relationship and build that trust, and that also will stem to the coaching staff as well. You have to consistently show up to every single team event, a team fundraiser, a team barbecue, an optional practice, every single optional practice you guys need to go to. And again, you cannot miss actual practice. There's so many guys that don't take football serious enough, and they wonder why they're not starting. Like I'm talking like, and this is advice that not a lot of people don't want to hear this advice. Like doctor's appointments, dentist appointments, those should be done in the morning before practice. You shouldn't even miss practice. I don't care if it's an appointment, unless somebody is dying. That is when you should miss practice, and that's the honest truth. And that's what's going to get you on the field and keep you on the field consistently showing up. So show up to every single optional event, every single optional practice to build that camaraderie with your team. And you must be at every single football event. I'm talking lifting, I'm talking practice, I'm talking walkthroughs, everything you need to show up to so those coaches have trust in you. They know you're going to show up and they know you're going to deliver. It's all about developing trust. Honestly, I don't think the talent gap is that huge in most situations with underclassmen and seniors and juniors, but the underclassmen are just not trusted by the coaching staff. And you can increase that trust by consistently showing up to every single thing. All right, guys, so now why is it important to start on varsity as an underclassman, as a freshman, as a sophomore? Because you were trying to get as much film as possible so you could go play football at the next level, which would be the college level, right? Like maybe you go to a smaller school, maybe even go to a bigger school and you have an opportunity to play on varsity as a freshman, as a sophomore, whatever it is. The more varsity film you have, the more film that you could showcase to a college coach. A college coach might come around and start recruiting you early in the process before you can actually receive a legitimate committable offer, but you want as much film as possible. It is very tough, especially if you have dreams and aspirations of playing football at the Division I level. It is extremely challenging to play at the Division I level with only 1 year of film. They recommend 2 years. I recommend 3, 4, as much film as you could possibly get. So when you're trying to find a high school to attend or a school to go to, you should factor that into your decision. Where am I going to play the earliest? I have a lot of players down here in Southern California, and the big schools down here, and some of the guys that we train, the big schools down here are obviously Bosco and Mater Dei, but they have so many freaking kids every single year coming into those schools because they recruit, because they're a private school. They have the funding to be able to give out a million different scholarships and just let everybody come in and pay like $100 a month for tuition when actual students have to pay like, you know, $10,000 to $12,000. They have the money to do that. So they recruit everybody and they want everybody to come to their school regardless if they're going to play or not, because it's a competitive thing. So a lot of kids get recruited by these schools and it's like, oh wow, you know, it's Bosco, Mater Dei, two of the top schools in the country, like not even California, in the entire country. But it's like, well, you're going to go there and you're going to sit on the bench for 3 years, and then who knows if they bring in another transfer, if they bring in somebody else who might be better than you. The competition pool is huge. And I get it. If you want to be a part of that, it's totally fine. That's not a wrong thing. But I recommend going where you are going to play the fastest, especially if you're in a big market state like California, Texas, Florida. Go somewhere where you are going to play and get the most varsity play time. Now, that brings me into my point. To be able to start on varsity, right? It's not just, oh, okay, you're going to go where you're going to go play. If you're the best guy there, you're going to play. There are other ways to get on the field, right? College coaches, what they recruit, and this is for the exception of a few positions like quarterback or maybe an offensive lineman. But if you're a skill position player like running back, receiver, honestly, guys, colleges want athletes. The top recruits every single year in every single recruiting class, I always have the ATH next to their name, right? They're the athletes. They play everywhere on the field. So that's what you should be trying to do. You should try to get on the field wherever you can. You're a freshman or a sophomore. You have plenty of time to play the position that you train for and that you work for. So like, let's say you're a receiver, because I know most of receivers watch this channel. Let's say you're a receiver. You guys should be trying to play defense. You guys should be trying to return kicks, return punts, get on every single special teams, because all of those are opportunities for you guys to get film. And again, the whole reason we talk about starting on varsity early is so you could get a good highlight tape and a lot of film to send out to a college coach. So guys, try to get on the field no matter where you can, because again, if you're a receiver and let's say maybe you're the 6th or 7th receiver on the team, right? They have 4 key starters, they have a backup guy, and then you're maybe 6th, 7th, whatever you are, wherever you rank. They're going to trust you more than the other receivers who don't play the other spots. They're just the 5th and 6th receiver. But if you're playing on special teams and they need a guy, like guys, I was a high school coach. Like we have these meetings, we talk about these things where it's like, okay, who do we trust? Well, he's been on special teams. He's been doing really good. We know he's got the mental makeup to handle a playbook, to handle new things that we ask him to do. And those are the guys that we roll with. Sometimes they may not even be the biggest guy or the best athlete. It's the guy that we can trust and we know is going to execute. So try to get on the field no matter where you can be. Try to play as early as you can, because that's the whole reason, guys, to start on varsity early is so you can get a good highlight tape to send to college coaches. All right, guys, so the next way you can start on varsity as an underclassman is going to be consistency. So this is something that we don't talk enough about, and I don't think high school athletes or even youth athletes hear this enough, because we get a ton of comments, a ton of DMs, a ton of messages on all of our social platforms about, hey, coach, like, I know I'm better than the guy in front of me. I show it in practice. I know I have better skills than him. Why am I not starting over him? And honestly, the God's honest truth sometimes is that you were just not consistent with what you were doing. It's more than just, being better than the guy one day. It's more than just being better than the guy for a week. You have to be better than that guy every single day, Monday through Sunday. You have to outperform your competition in the gym, on the field, in the classroom. You need to know everything better than them and do everything better than them as an underclassman, because you're already at a disadvantage. You're an underclassman, you're a freshman, you're a sophomore. They don't trust you. It comes down to the same things that we were talking about in the beginning of this video. They don't trust you. They've known these other kids for years and years and years. They've been in the system. If you don't have a coaching switch, they've been in the same offense, same defense, whatever it is, for years, guys. Like, they don't trust you yet. So you have to outperform them and force them to have to play you, but you have to be consistent with it. You cannot do it once, twice, 3 times, get discouraged because they're not noticing you. They're not supposed to notice you. You're an underclassman, and nothing is going to be given to you, too. Everybody's got this attitude that, oh, well, if I'm better than him, he's just going to give me the spot. Because life isn't fair, guys. Like, you have to consistently show up, outwork the competition, and you may not even get looked at, and you still have to show up the next day and do the exact same thing if you want to start over a senior who's been there a couple years, a junior who's been there a few years, because they're going to give them the advantage. They have the seniority because they're older than you. So guys, you have to show up and you have to be consistent every single day. Now, another thing, and this is another reason that keeps guys off the field, you got to know your stuff. You got to know the playbook. Just because you're an underclassman, don't use the lame excuse of, oh, well, and this is common, guys, in high school, you probably don't have a playbook, right? It's probably all on huddle, or they probably just expect you to know it because they've walked through it. And guess what? If you're a freshman, you're a sophomore, you haven't been in that offense for very long or that defense for very long. So you haven't been there for all the walkthroughs that they've done to teach the playbook. So these guys have an advantage on you. You need to get with a coach. You need to put in extra time and know your stuff. That keeps more players off the field than anything. They know a couple plays, but then they use the excuse of, oh, well, I'm new. I'm a younger guy. I don't know the play. Like, guys, they don't care. They just want you to get the job done. So do whatever it takes to know your stuff, get the job done, and you have to be consistent with the work that you're putting in. All right, fellas, I really want to thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. If you have any questions at all, don't hesitate to leave those in the comment section below. We always appreciate the feedback. It's always great to hear from you guys. And again, fellas, if you would like to get faster and want 75 plus speed and agility drills, all designed to improve your overall athleticism, overall speed, check out that very first link in the description below. We'd love to get you on that. I'll see you guys next time.